The Earth that we live in is very old. It is estimated that Earth has existed for more than 4.5 billion years, and during this very long time period, Earth has gone through many large and very significant changes that have shaped it into the planet we are living in today. Over time, Earth's continents have split apart, mountains and other structures formed and then slowly eroded away, and natural processes such as plate tectonics, erosion, and glaciation led to the formation of an entire landform region with its own unique and notable qualities and characteristics. This landform region is known as the Canadian Shield.
The Canadian Shield refers to the exposed part of the North American craton, a piece of the Earth's continental crust that lies underneath the majority of North America and is covered by soil and other materials. In the area where the Canadian Shield is located, the piece of crust does not lie underneath the soil but is instead found very close to the Earth's surface, with only a small sheet of land covering it. This region of land is home to some of the oldest rocks on Earth, some dating back as far as 4.3 billion years ago when the formation of Earth was just beginning. This evidence suggests that the Canadian Shield must have existed during the Precambrian and therefore must be at least 3 to 4 billion years old.
The Canadian Shield was formed through the various processes of plate tectonics, erosion, and glaciation as they repeatedly occurred over a time span of 3 billion years. Tectonic plates are huge pieces of the Earth's crested upper mantle that can slowly move around and collide with each other. When some of these plates collide, they may roll together, forming larger landmasses. The Canadian Shield is commonly known as the combination of different crustal plates that have collided in the past and joined together. Sometimes, due to these collisions, the Earth becomes deformed, resulting in a process called an orogeny. Orogeny has caused the Earth to thrust upward, creating mountain ranges, and because of this shield was formed through a series of orogenies, it was once a very mountainous region. The many mountains on the Canadian Shield were eventually eroded through factors such as wind and rain. These forces slowly wore down the mountains until the land of the Canadian Shield was smoother than it once was. Weathering processes were eventually interrupted by ice ages that began over the last 2.5 million years, causing the glaciers to grow and move around, smoothing the landscape and moving sediment along with them. Over time, these recurring processes eventually shaped the Canadian Shield into the land that we see today.
While this entire region of land contains an abundance of minerals, forests, and lakes, the Canadian Shield can be further divided into 7 geologically distinct areas, also known as provinces, that are all unique in the rocks and minerals that they contain. These areas are referred to as the name Grenville, Southern Superior, Churchill, Slave, and Bere provinces. The Southern Province is known for the mining district of Sudbury, Ontario, which is popular for its production of copper and nickel. Farther north of the region, the Superior Province is one of Canada's most important sources of copper, gold, iron, and silver. Churchill and Grenville contain deposits of uranium, lead, and zinc, and the Slave Province is being searched for diamond. Bere also contain traces of copper and uranium, while the province's name is very small and is not known for producing any significant materials.
The Canadian Shield also contains many small lakes that were formed through the glacial erosion that had occurred when the Canadian Shield was first being formed. These lakes are home to many fish species, including trout, burbot, and northern pike. These lakes also contain various ducks and geese. Outside of the water, birds such as boreal owls, great horned owls, blue jays, and white-throated sparrows live in this region, and mammals such as caribou, deer, wolves, beavers, and black bears live here as well. Coniferous trees also commonly grow along this region, providing habitats to many wildlife as well. In the far northern region of the Shield, wildlife is very sparse. The few animals living in this area are polar bears, Arctic foxes, Arctic hares, snowy owls, and rock ptarmigan. The Canadian Shield's extensive natural resources have played and continue to play an important role in the growth and development of the Canadian economy. This landform region is very useful for various purposes. Mining is very common on the Shield, with minerals and stones such as gold, silver, copper, zinc, nickel, iron, uranium, and diamond being searched for the most. One of the best known areas for mining on the Shield is located in Sudbury, Ontario, and the metals most commonly mined here include copper, nickel, gold, and palladium. The many forests present in this landform region also allow for forestry to become a very large industry on the Shield, with many small towns and villages being founded around forestry-related industries such as pulp and paper mills. A large number of lakes and rivers in this region also means that the Canadian Shield is capable of producing a high amount of hydroelectricity. Some of the highest producing hydroelectric dams include Churchill Falls, Labrador, and James Bay, Quebec.
The planet we live in is always changing. During the 4.5 billion years that this planet has existed, many very significant transformations have occurred to shape it into the planet that we are living in today. Some of these transformations gave us the Great Canadian Shield, a huge part of both Canadian geography and wildlife, as well as home to some of the oldest rocks ever found on this earth. Thank you for watching our presentation on the Canadian Shield, and we hope you learned a lot more about this topic from us. Have a good day and goodbye.